Hi, welcome back to Walk Era for day 147. Today we left our new friend's house, admired some German architecture, walked the last 10 miles before the Dutch border, and then tried to figure out a place to camp with a little bit of new friends made in between. Enjoy. Love you. This is how close Jack gets in the morning. It's right up in my space. He wants breakfast. Do you want some breakfast? Jack always gets attached to our new friends, has a hard time leaving. They gave him a bunch of their dog's toys that she doesn't particularly love, but he got attached to. So he got a new Frisbee, finally, after we lost his other one early on in Germany. So all in all, very profitable chance encounter. Incidentally, this is where we were sitting yesterday when he pulled up and asked if we'd like dinner. But look at this building. Look how much soil has accumulated there on like the eaves. And then it's allowed plant life to grow. Fascinating. All right, I think we're like 10 miles from the border with the Netherlands, so we'll be there soon enough. There's shot A. Jack seems to like having his belly brushed, which is good, because I like brushing his belly. Just a happy, pampered puppy. Oh, my life is so good. I was actually talking about my life as Isaiah, the man who gets to brush his pampered puppy. We are less than 2 miles away from the border with the Netherlands. It was lunchtime for Jack, so I always give him a little bit of a respite at lunchtime too. And we'll be back on our way shortly, ready to start my 7th nation of walking across, which is cool. One of these things that later in life I'll look back at this moment and miss it, I'm sure. Homeboy has no idea that he's about to enter another country. Okay, first steps in Holland / the Netherlands. Anytime I mentioned how much I liked the bicycle paths in Germany, a frequent piece of feedback would be like, wait till you get to the Netherlands. And true to form, as soon as we entered the Netherlands from Germany, it got much wider, and then there became 2 lanes, as it were, in the bike path as well as in the roads. So technically they are not lying so far. Record holds up. It is 2:18, 9.61 miles in today. The weather has taken a turn for the pleasanter. We've just lost our sun. It was quite warm. Now it is perfect. And maybe it'll rain. Fingers crossed. I'm still waiting for the opportunity to try out my new umbrella. Shot B. You're looking sleepy. You got your squinties back. I'm really having a hard time understanding the squinties. What brings them on? Sleepy boy. Okay, I think I might be in my first Dutch town. That's the term for Netherlands, right? Very small, very sweet. Unfortunately, I had lunch. Not like a crazy meal. I think it was 13 euros, but they didn't accept credit cards. And we didn't figure that out until after, when the lady running it tried to just let me pay by credit card and it didn't work. And the guy was like, oh yeah, we don't do credit cards. I was like, well, point me in the direction of the nearest ATM. He was real friendly. He's 20 kilometers that way, or 20 kilometers that way. So I spent half an hour trying to figure out if I could use Facebook Pay, or if I could do a wire transfer, or if I could do anything. We couldn't figure anything out, because I don't have European banking apps and they don't have American ones. So I took down his information, and I will bet you my life I will pay him. I just am gonna have to do some research to figure out how to make it possible. But it'll be the last thing I do. Will be to pay him. I promise you that. I'm not that kind of guy. Okay, for the last like 4 days, I've been so focused. I keep saying Amsterdam, but I actually just had like the closest recognizable entity across the border with the Netherlands put onto my maps so I would know how long it was until I crossed the border. Now that I'm actually here, I'm kind of like disoriented because I just haven't familiarized myself with where I am or where I want to be going. I know I want to be going to Amsterdam. I haven't plugged it in yet, so I'll plug it in and see what route it suggests. This town looks nice. I thought it was hard to pronounce towns in Germany. I'm not even gonna try hard on the Amsterdam ones because it's gonna be wrong no matter what. So with my American pronunciation, right now I'm in Nieuw-Schoonbeek. I'm headed to Coevorden on my way to Amsterdam, which is 101 miles away. So that should put me there in like 6 days. Ostriches, I think. I'm pretty shocked at how exquisitely flat it is. And it's strange too, because usually when I cross borders, there's not usually much of a difference that you can notice immediately, because the border is just an arbitrary line on the map, right? But it was not like this in Germany. I don't know. It's so flat for so long. It's like you're on the world's biggest soccer field, you know, where it's just been perfectly groomed to be 100% flat. It's a sight to see. The massive scale of what I can see, just, you know, combined with the total lack of sound, is making for a kind of surreal evening. It is 6:54. We've walked 15.92 miles. Jack's ridden some of that. He's got the squinties again. Gotta figure out what that is. And we've got a few more miles left in us, I think. The weather is just very nice. Two really big, important things that I need to share. One, my umbrella came with like an extra pole, so you can connect it and then I think stick it in the ground. That way it's taller. Anyway, the nice thing about that is it's very fun to twirl. So while I walk, I twirl my extra pole. Now you're probably like, well, I don't trust that. These are big announcements. I know. Second big announcement is before I entered Germany, I was really nervous about camping there for some reason. And then it just turned out to be really quite easy. Maybe it helped to have a year and a half of practice of camping in random places. I don't know. Anyway, so before I came to the Netherlands, I did none. I just rushed on over here, unprepared. Now it's 7:30, and I need to figure out somewhere to camp. I was chatting with a gentleman probably half a mile back, less than, and he goes, go to the roundabout, which is where I'm at right now, turn right, and there'll be a campground. I was like, oh, is it paid? How much is it? He's like, I don't know. And then he goes, or just find a farmer, ask him if you can sleep there. I was like, there you go. The fact that that was like the first guy ever said to me means that they're probably pretty relaxed here too, as far as like people in my situation. This is a long jibber jabber. My bad. Bad news. Not only is wild camping illegal here, which I was pretty sure was the case anyway, it's also, every website said the same thing. It's illegal to camp on private property, even with permission. So I don't know what that means. A little bit further down the rabbit hole, I was reading, I don't know, 5 to 10 articles. So yes, they probably will fine you if you get caught. A €500 fine. The chances of you getting caught in really small towns is pretty small. Several of them mentioned like farmers. Several of the articles mentioned farmers letting you camp on their property, which is what I would be most interested in doing. So again, I think it's not that the government of the Netherlands doesn't want you to sleep on someone's grass if you have permission. It's that they don't want people disrupting wild spaces with, you know, irresponsible behavior of camping. I wouldn't be so opposed to camping if it wasn't getting to the point where it's basically almost as expensive as other options. Like those little spots they had in Denmark were great. You know, $10 or less to just put up your tent for the night seems reasonable. But anymore, I feel like it's like €50. To me, that kind of price tag just sounds illogical. There's a campsite coming up. I'm tempted to use it, but their website didn't list how much it is to pitch a tent, and I always find that to be suspicious behavior. The lack of transparency. Just tell me. Alright, so we were walking right down the road shortly after we last chatted. This pack of 4 gentlemen and ladies, 2 married couples, saw the sign, like, oh cool, do you want to come in for like a drink? Like, sure. I thought maybe late at night, it would lead to a invitation to stay, much like it did last night, and then it just didn't. And they're like, all right, cool, well, good luck on your way. So now that it's later, we have so little light, I think we are just going to go to the campground and try not to get fined €500. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It's €22. I understand that there's a lot of overhead involved in owning land, and I understand that it also comes with the rights to shower and there's stuff there, but I don't know. I wish there was like a place that catered to just dirt cheap. We give you nothing, but you can pitch your tent here. And it costs €5. I don't know. That would be ideal. Ideal is boring. We found a grass patch. We only paid 22 euros for it. I'm not gonna lie, I sort of hustled over here because we were leaving the other fellow's house that didn't offer us a place to stay. And Jack took about 3 steps out of it and then all of a sudden just collapsed. He didn't fall over, but one of his paws, he was shaking and holding it like this and just looking so sad. And now he seems fine. But so I don't know what happened. It's amazing how fast that just goes right to your heart. And you're like, oh man, are you okay? And now he thankfully seems okay, only 10 minutes later. Anyway, I'm gonna set up my tent. Probably just go to bed, pretty tired. See, it looks pretty fine now.